Hello, I am BlueBlob0 and you are watching What is a Game. Today we are looking at Dear Esther and looking at whether it's a game. The fourth episode today. We've already looked at Proteus, Thomas Was Alone, Antechamber, and next week we'll be looking at Magica. I apologise in this episode, there may be noise from outside and it's ridiculously hot here, so I have the windows open, I have the door shut, so there shouldn't be too much noise, but I have to make this quickly and then turn the fan back on again. Okay, so firstly, goal. Does Dear Esther have a goal? Yes. Even more than Proteus, which is kind of comparable to Dear Esther. There is definitely a goal in Dear Esther. When you wake up, you will see at the start a lighthouse, and that guides your way until you get into the caves, and then briefly you don't see the lighthouse, but there's mentions of it. And then right at the end, you will see the lighthouse when you come out of the caves again. So there's definitely that goal there. It's always obvious, it's always in mind. Now, the actions, tasks, have we got any of these? Well, no, is the straight answer. You walk, you press W, you press W, you press W. You can go in a house and the light will automatically turn on for you and then turn off when you walk out. There is no you can control where you go, but ultimately there is one path that you have to do. There's a few small snippets of dialogue that you won't catch if you don't go off the beaten track, but there's not much. Once you walk to an area, the next area loads, you walk through that area loads, you walk through that area loads. Pretty much the entire game. Dialogue plays to you as you walk. There's no puzzles, challenges to overcome, anything else that moves around the island, apart from like water flowing and the plants turning. It's all just static. There's no animals or anything like in Proteus. So the story of the game. Now, this is an interesting one. The story is kind of complex, and it's kind of like a book where you always make your own opinion on what is going on. It never gives you the whole... not all books do this, but some books do. They don't give you some of the whole story at the beginning, so you've got to kind of work out a bit what happened. And so it's not like a full novel that would explain everything. It just gives you snippets of information and you have to piece them together. Sometimes you might find out other pieces of information that you didn't know. But generally that's how Dear Esther works. Just walking around, looking at scenery, pieces of information come at you and you listen to them being read. So I know it's quite quick, but really there isn't much more to talk about Dear Esther than that. It is only a quick game. There's 4 different acts, 2 on land, 1 in the caves, and then 1 which is basically the end act is really short and you just walk up to the lighthouse basically. Now, is it a game? Is it an interactive experience? Well, with Dear Esther I'm going to say that I don't think it's either. I think that Dear Esther is something along the lines of a virtual story. It's like an audio book because you can't read it out. There's someone reading it out for you and giving it tone in that way, reading it out in a specific way. I read the subtitles differently to how they were read out by the narrator. So that's something you've got. And you've also got the visual aspect, but there isn't interactivity. You press W. You can choose where you go, but other than that, you can't. You can choose to have. It's like a audio book is spread into 50 different CDs, and each CD has a small snippet, and there's a few of them in order, right? And each one has images to go with them. And then some of them you can play if you want to, but you don't have to, and they give you extra bits of information towards the story. It's like almost like a murder mystery kind of story. It's not actually it's not interactive. It's definitely not a game. There's no gameplay there. It's not. I don't think it's an interactive experience because it's not interactive. So it would just be an experience. So I think it's a visual story. It's a visual audiobook. That's what it is. It's a visual audiobook. There's not much more to say about it than that. Dear Esther is a visual audiobook. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any opinions about Dear Esther yourself, please put them down below. If you want to watch about the other games I've done, as I said before, Thomas Was Alone, then Proteus, then Antechamber, and next week I'll be doing Magica. And in my original video I explain about what I'm doing and all of this. If you have any opinions against what I'm saying, please, or even for, either way, I accept them and I want to hear them, because I can always make a video at the end replying to what people have said. So that's about it really. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!